Hi there. I think it is completely clear that humans are killing themselves and everything else on this planet. We are going extinct, and we're doing our best to make sure that that actually happens. And that I consider a crime. This is not a contentious issue. I'm not like somebody that is, saw something or like a UFO. No, you can read it. If you read it, there's many thousands of people that know this and that have concluded this scientifically and have researched every detail there is to know and basically come to the same conclusion. We are going extinct, everything else on Earth is going extinct. And the Earth will be uninhabitable for life for about 500,000 years. And then probably there will be some microbes that can eke out some more complex existence again. This has happened many times before, and the mechanism is always the same, where you have oceans that go stagnant and that release massive amounts of hydrogen sulfide, which is a gas that burns and that can actually be eaten by some bacteria, but is deadly to most aerobic life. It is one of the oldest, these bacteria that eat the hydrogen sulfide. They're among the oldest bacteria we know, and that's completely understandable because in the beginning of the Earth there was mostly hydrogen sulfide, methane, those kind of stuff. Those gases are still around, and it's basically existence of our ecosystem depends on fighting off their dominance. There's a balance between let's say there's skills, or there's a equilibrium that we have reached with lots of trouble that we are in right now, where there's lots of oxygen in the atmosphere and the temperatures are in a certain range. But if you push that over, then it's just like pushing over a whole pile of bricks. They lie on the ground and they won't pile themselves up again. That's a very, very slow process. So this is the situation. This is really the situation. There's really not much doubt. And really it's just amazing to me how prudent you have to be with expressing these things. And I can explain how that is because the Americans have a law that is actually a law being exercised. It's called the Animal Enterprise Terrorism Act, which says that if you infringe on the profitability of a animal enterprise, then you are a terrorist. You can be branded a terrorist. How does it work? Well, if I think I have to do something about this climate change problem, and I think that intensive farming, animal farming, is a complete waste and huge energy consumer, so I want to get rid of that. So I make a little sign that says stop Kentucky Fried Chicken, and I stand outside of Kentucky Fried Chicken. I can be arrested, the sign can be taken from me, I can go to jail, I might even can go to Guantanamo Bay, simply for doing that. You see, human suicide, the suicide of human society, is not to be blocked. It has to go through, it has to happen. There is a real urgency in dealing with this. And I think that, and now you have to, of course, maybe you're not agreeing with me, but I think there is a legal case to be made where you can say, I am using self-defense in order to stop this. I have the right to defend my own life. I see, and there's a law that says if you use self-defense, that you can use it if you rightly or wrongly believe that your life is in immediate danger. And that immediate or in imminent danger. There's a difference between imminent and immediate. Imminent is where you know that there's an unstoppable sequence of events that will lead to your life being in danger. So it doesn't have to be direct, I think. It's not temporarily restrained. Of course, there is a rule that says that if you have time, you have to go to the police. So let's take this self-defense rule that says that if you believe, rightly or wrongly, I might be wrong, but it doesn't matter, I can still believe it. And I can be excused on the basis of self-defense for my action. that I'm in imminent danger, that there is an unmitigatable threat posed by big corporations and companies that do not stop doing what they're doing because it might threaten the survival of the human species, then, but I have time, which I of course have, then I should go to the police. No, that's where I kind of ended up in reasoning right now, is that self-defense, I think, is completely justified against the threat that we're facing. And of course we're not trying to eliminate any people or endanger anybody. If it's self-defense, it cannot be a crime. If you hit somebody over the head out of self-defense, the judge rules it self-defense. Then it's not a crime. It's not classified as you are forgiven of a crime. It's simply not a crime. So legally speaking, I should go to the police and ask them to help me stop the big polluters. So I would go to them and write a letter and say, well, I want all the airlines to quit flying. I want all the shipping companies to quit shipping. I want all the oil companies to quit drilling. I want all the computer internet companies to shut down their server rooms because it's no use to have it. Just build a couple of libraries and we'll be okay. It's just only for commercial reasons. And by the way, it's taken up over by Verizon and Google anyway now. We have a tiered internet where only, let's say, the penned-in hyper consumer will be allowed to have fast internet. Shut down intensive farming because they're cutting down rainforests to have cows, which exacerbates the problem. Shut down fishing. Just stop the whole fishing thing and try to revive those oceans with deeper water oil dwelling. I have to go to the police station and file and ask for that, and then they'll say yes, of course, because and then they might, if they tell me you have to prove that your life is in immediate danger from the activities of all these people. Can you prove that? Or in imminent danger? I can prove that. I'm 100% sure of that. I can prove that. I can line up a couple of experts, maybe 100 and maybe 1,000, that will all corroborate the path we are on. Because I've seen the publications, and there are not a few of them. They're one of these the anoxia type stories where everybody is looking into this anoxia thing. Like there's no oxygen in the oceans. There's less of it. 67,000 publications or something like that. It's a massive amount. And it's just amazing to me that the technologists are not able to capture power with that. That they are not motivated to do so. And I even found a few scientists that were like pretending there's no problem, and actually on my website there's testimony in front of Congress where a guy says that we might have a cessation of the ocean currents, so that polar regions will become cooler because the warmer water is no longer flowing from the equator. But he doesn't tell the panel that he's talking to that will also mean that everything else will go extinct. No, the problem is that it will get cooler. That's the problem. Anyway, if you're a lawyer or somebody with an understanding of that, you can help me, because I think it's interesting to see whether how far you can go, and where what you can achieve with this. Maybe it's a waste of time. I don't know. Thanks for listening.